bang, and
Good?
welcome back,
Very good.
everyone.
Hello.
Right, so, how is everyone doing today? Is everyone eager for a good getting rid of
It's,
Port Nyanzaru and sort of setting off, or
I've got
hopefully
a few hours. I've got a few hours to spare this week.
Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Right, so we had a little bit of a confusing session the end of last week, a little bit of sort of mayhem and battle. I'll just go through a quick précis of what we did. So, attempting to recover the coin, the Yataka coin, if we remember, that you're going to put by Suavo, and place it somewhere more suitable, Yoshie, followed closely by Nipa as an extra pair of eyes, regained entry into the mansion. Yoshie very expertly manoeuvred through the darkened rooms and placed the coin where there would be no doubt it was meant for Suavo. The party returned to Wakanga's palace, where there had been provided rooms for the next 2 days to be precise, and took their rest, intending to lay low for the next few days until they got confirmation that Suavo had removed the contract. Some of the party took their ease at the mansion, Nada luxuriating in the baths and Nipa in magical study with Wakanga. The others, in disguise, sold their accumulated items and treasures at the market and purchased further supplies for the next leg of the journey. Late that evening, Yoshie was instructed by Mask to leave the palace and to head to the beggar prince's ziggurats. Taking the thieves' highway, Yoshie quickly found himself before a small house nestled just in front of the smaller ziggurat. The house was a front for the Conclave of Shadows, a temple to Mask, and a secret door led to the temple underneath. The Conclave were to discuss and vote on an alliance with the cultists of Ishodo, but when the last leader rose to speak to the assembly, Yoshie was told to kill him. Chaos ensued, and Yoshie quite easily dispatched by Master Carol. As Carol fell, the voice of Mask boomed out, "All true worshippers, stay where you are." And that's where we shall pick up again today. How did everyone feel about that last session? Everyone?
I love it. Absolutely love it.
That was intense.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I'm not entirely sure I know what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, confusion is the key there.
I mean,
which
you
is,
did your job.
to be honest, don't worry. I'm not going to ask you to play different characters or anything this time. You're back to your old characters, and there's no panic. There's no mindfuck coming on the way for you. Okay, so we will start here back in the temple to see what's actually going on. So Spiremaster Carol is dead, and Mask has instructed everyone to stop fighting and remain in the hall. The booming voice then continues. "Ndwale, kneel and repeat your oath to me." And you see Ndwale drop to his knees, and he pulls his warhammer in front of him and rests his head against it. And he says, "I swear upon my soul to honour you, Mask, Lord of Shadows and King of Thieves. My loyalty is forever yours." There's a moment of silence, and then the two statues sort of like boom out again. "Then receive my blessing, loyal paladin, the eyes of darkness. Rise as a new leader on this council." And anyone who's actually sort of looking at Ndwale would see that his eyes have actually turned completely black. He's received a blessing from Mask. Mask actually continues, and he says, "Trace the escaped cultists to their lair while my champion passes judgment here. Go, now." And you see Ndwale sort of get up to his feet and sort of dash out the door to sort of complete his mission. So everyone else is instructed to present themselves to Yoshie, and for Yoshie to sort of pass judgment. In Yoshie's head, Mask tells Yoshie to place his hand on their foreheads as they swear their loyalty to Mask. And you see everyone sort of beginning to sort of line up. The elders are coming around from their unconsciousness, and they sort of start approaching. But we are going to head back to the rest of the party quickly, because this is about sort of 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and Eldas, you are dreaming. You are dreaming of home. Yeah, you in the forests. What do the forests look like, and what does this idyllic day look like to you in your dream?
Well, the forest is green, like vivid green, like proper tropical rainforest without the wet, stuffy feeling that you get in the rainforest. Like it's bright and just you can hear all the animals.
So not so much the tropical jungle, more sort of like the evergreen sort of jungle, is it? Or
Yeah, yeah. So, but like the colours are really vibrant, like, and everything just smells really earthy and fresh
you stand there and you
and
take this deep breath of this fresh air, and you admire this sort of brightly sort of spring blossom in front of you, and you hear a little bit of rustling in the bushes, and there's you walking along a very sort of small path, and a rabbit jumps out, turns to sort of like look at you, its ears sort of like waggle a little bit, and then it bounds a little bit further along the path, and it turns back and looks at you.
follow it.
You're gonna follow it, yeah? Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, every now and then it keeps stopping to look back and see you, and after about sort of 5 minutes, it takes you to this clearing, a very small sort of clearing, and you see standing next to, or sort of lying sort of next to this old sort of fallen log, is a giant wolf, and the rabbit sort of bounces up to the all happy and everything, bounces up to the wolf, and the wolf snaps down and bites it, and you hear the cracking of bones and everything as it sort of swallows it back.
Is the wolf laying down though,
It's
or
sort
is
of
it?
laying with, with the two paws in front of it, but the shoulders are up and everything like that. So an alert sort of thing.
Right. Does
But
it?
actually, yeah, but it does it what?
Does it look injured or anything then, or is it
Well,
just laying there like normal?
okay. So as you sort of look to see if it's injured or anything, it actually now lays down onto its side, but its head and these two large golden eyes are looking at you, and in the language of beasts, it gently asks, "What do you seek, Eldas?" And as the wolf speaks, the grass near her belly sort of like writhes, as the grasses and vines and weeds all form into these shapes that form into suckling pups. What do you say?
I just wish to know the ways of nature. Like I'd like to be able to transform into any animal and be in tune with the earth and the sky.
Prong, your ancestry is powerful. I'm sure this is within your reach. Make a persuasion check for me, please. Okay. I'm going to say everyone's got inspiration at the start of this round as well. So if you want to use inspiration at this particular point, you can do to make that into a...
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
okay.
so.
Lose that inspiration immediately. Okay, so she sort of regards you, and the head sort of like cocks to the side a little bit. And you notice that there's too many pups to be suckling on her. And you watch as some of them are begin to sort of grow strong. I mean, quicker than, this is like over what would you would expect to be sort of months. They grow big and strong. But one of them grows thin, and in front of your eyes it starves and collapses to the ground. And you
Do I
watch.
try to intervene,
You
or
can do. What would you like to do?
I would like to try and take it and attach it to a T and be like, please let me aid you in you.
Okay. All right. So some of the pups have sort of bounded away into the forests, and there is a teat available. And you present it to the wolf, saying, this, we can save this one. We can save this one. Let me help you. And the head turns to sort of face you, big golden eyes glowing, and it says, "It is nature's way. There is always a balance." And the pup crumbles from between your hands and falls to the floor, and there's maggots rising through the flesh and everything. And the wolf is you focused in on this, and now the wolf has disappeared. It's not there anymore. But out of these maggots, you see this seedling begin to sprout, and it grows fast. And like within moments, standing in front of you, is this massive, massive oak tree. And in the language of Leaf, it gently asks, "What do you seek, Eldas?"
This is a hard question. I just seek peace. Peace and balance. Because what the wolf just said is still resounding in my head about there being balance. Like it sort of comes home that you do need that, but at the same time, I don't want there to be wars, and I don't want more forests to be chopped down, and
Okay, so you feel this. I mean, you've just seen it grow. It's very, very quickly, but you feel this ancient sort of knowledge processing within the tree as it sort of responds to you. For there to be peace only is impossible. For peace to exist for some, others may have to suffer. As in all things, balance. And you see as the leaves begin to yellow, then brown, and fall, and there's so many of them, they obscure your vision.
At this point, I'm wondering what mushrooms I ate before I fell asleep, by the way.
Can you make a persuasion check at advantage? Because peace as an aim is not good. Okay. Right. Okay, so you've got the leaves falling in front of your eyes. And when you can see again, you find yourselves among the elder druids of your tribe. And they're in the process of mixing up a potion. What are they doing? I mean, you've done this several times, probably hundreds of times actually, as part of the druid circle within your tribe. What does this look like? What's happening?
Oh, I don't know. Do I ask if I can aid them?
You are part of the process. You are included in this process. What are you doing to help? This is your natural role. You would feel totally comfortable
just
within
grinding
this.
up herbs and collecting and counting and measuring out ingredients needed.
Okay, so yeah, I think you're acting in this in more sort of an acolyte sort of position, sort of like providing assistance to people, moving things across, and okay. So you're doing this, and there's, I'd say, probably about 8 or 9 of them, and as one, they stop and turn to look at you, and all of them have the golden glowing eyes of the wolf, and they all speak, but in a single gentle Firbolg voice ask, "What do you seek, Eldas?"
I don't know. I feel like I don't say that, but I'm starting to second guess the last 2 times I've said what I think I see. I now feel unsure as if I'm giving the wrong answer.
Make a perception check.
Can I read enough into what they're
You
trying to get out of me, or
no, you get the feeling that the answer is very, very personal to you, and there is no right or wrong answers here.
at the
Something is
moment,
trying to gain an
the one thing
understanding
I
of you.
seek, I mean, at the moment, I just seek to know what this curse is.
Hmm. Ask your questions.
Where does it come from? Why is it happening? How can we cure it?
There is a device that is feeding the birth of a new god. This birth would create a sundering throughout my body. All the spirits that depend on me would fade and die, and it would strike me to my very core.
How would I stop this?
You must seek and destroy the soulmonger.
Do we have a name, or?
Seek the city of Omu.
How do you spell that?
OMU. Within the city lies the source of this evil. You may ask further
Okay.
questions.
Is this one enemy or lots of enemies? Is there anything you can give me to prepare myself for what I might be walking into?
You will face countless enemies. Enemies of a mortal nature. Enemies of the gods. You are fully aware that the gods are choosing sides in this war that will take place
Can I
across my
trust?
body.
Can I trust the people that are with me now?
Trust in them, for they are your salvation. Only together will you be able to avert this fate.
Okay, good. Because I mean, I've had my suspicions about Yoshie. He's been a bit weird recently.
Yoshie is a champion of one of the gods and has his part to play. Nothing is
Okay.
fated, but there is a thread of the future that you may pass along this path to reach, where this disaster can be averted and all my spirit children will be safe.
How do we get to this city?
That I cannot tell you.
Okay, thank you for your wisdom.
Do you have any other questions?
Not off the top of my head, but is there any way to come back if I have more?
You may seek to commune with me. I see you have your suspicions, but you know who I am.
You're an ancient.
I am the ancient. I am the spirit of Toriel.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure if
Right,
that
Toriel
is.
is
Still
the
don't
planet
know.
that you live on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
Oh,
is
right, okay.
basically It's not like the Earth Mother or anything like that. It's just sentient creature, or some sentient creatures have souls and everything like that, but animals don't. They have spirits that inhabit them, and these spirits are connected to this what Toril is. And you can get from what she's saying is, if this Forsaken One is born, and this battle takes place between the gods, it's going to scar her, and life will,
Be
there'll be no balance
devastated.
there.
Yeah.
Nature's a thing about keeping things in balance, and that's unbalanced to the wrong side. So
It's unnatural.
she's not a god. She's not a god, so to speak. She is literally the essence of nature. So
What do you mean by knows of the rest?
what's that? I wonder what she
No, I
knows.
was just wondering. It's what Eldas was thinking about the rest of them. But no, it's just curious, please.
Okay, so your vision begins to fade as you turn over in bed from an uncomfortable position to get to a new comfortable position. You just sigh as you just pass off into more irrelevant dreams. Okay. Actually, you need to make a persuasion check. Actually, make a check of your choice. How do you feel and everything about that conversation and all?
I feel like I need gain some wisdom and I need to survive
I think maybe a
till
nature
the
check.
end.
I think a nature check on this one, considering she's the spirit of nature. Give me a nature check. At advantage.
Terrible rolls.
Right, so
Struggling today.
there are two things to give to you. Right, so the first one is for the way she spoke to you in the Firbolg voice. You will get this, okay, which is a potion recipe. Did you get that?
Oh, it's come up in the chat.
Yeah, but it should just be for you, to you.
Yeah, I
It says
got
two
it.
Eldas, yeah. Okay, so you can add that, and also your success with the wolf provides you this, which you can add to your character sheet on the right hand side.
Form CR3 beast.
Yes. Okay, so your limit has gone up from a CR2 beast to a CR3 beast.
What does that mean?
It means you can take on forms that do a lot of damage, have a lot of health, like a good, between 50 and 70 hit points health and everything. Okay, unfortunately you didn't get Toril's Embrace, but that might be something that you could pick up at a later stage, we'll see. Alright, it's still about 4 or 5 in the morning. Would Nada or Nipa be up at the moment, or are you still snoring?
I can imagine Nipa's tired, but Nada being a very martial person, he's not devout, he's not, per se,
His
any of that
body's
sort of thing,
his
but
temple, and he
he's
wants
martial.
to make sure it's...
Yeah, that's, this, and as any soldier does, it's how they keep fighting fit.
So you're out doing sort of push-ups in the garden and
Yeah, I'd
stuff
say
like that.
Nada's, just admiring, doing some work. So I was admiring the the landscape. You can imagine,
Okay.
it's very different from the jungle. A lot more open, a lot more to see.
You come out into sort of an empty guest room, walk through into sort of the garden. You sort of open the doors, and there's that smell in the air where it's been raining like 10 minutes ago or something like that, but everything's sort of cleared up. that sort of sweet smell. So it's a little bit sort of wet, but you start sort of tramping down the stairs, and you realise something. Either Yoshie is sharing the room with Eldas and Anthir, or Yoshie might have gone walkabouts.
Is there any evidence around me? Anything suspicious I'm walking down?
Okay, you notice that Yoshie's armour's not there. All the weapons, they've all been taken with him. Yoshie has left all his backpack and things here, so I think you could presume that he's going to be returning if he's not in Eldas and Anthir's room.
Yeah. Nada. Is there any windows open? Anything? Any forms of escape
Forms of escape?
around? Any way he could get to the outside world?
Okay.
Obviously, I'm assuming the guards would know if.
Make a this would be perception check. As
Yeah,
you
he's
sort
not
of
very good at this.
glance around and everything.
So take a look. Just see if he can get her anything. I think he's a bit confused, a bit like, what? Yoshie's gone?
I mean, you open up this door here, and you see there's a guard there, as it's part of your sort of looking around. You're like, well, did you see the cat sort of come out or anything? Did you see Ark? And he's like, no, not at all. And you're flummoxed. He's like, okay, you must think, yep, he's in Anthir's room doing something in there. Okay,
so I think I just slowly nudge open the door, try and reach up the door handle, just twist it, just slowly nudge it open, just.
Right, so Anthir and Eldas, please make a perception check. Okay,
Where
Eldas,
were them
you definitely hear
rolls?
this.
I use my inspiration.
Yeah.
I use my inspiration that you said we were given at the start of that round.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's a bit silly.
I mean, I
Are you
heard
sure?
it, so
Yeah, I mean, yeah, keep that for something important. Right, so Eldas, you hear this of the door as it sort of opens up, and you see sort of Nada sort of peering in and everything. You sort of elbow sort of Anthir, get him up. Yeah, so Nada, you see no fuzzball creature in the room.
The cat's gone.
Probably just went on a walk or something. Yeah, I don't know.
But the guards are reporting nothing.
Probably just in one of the other rooms. Is there?
Really?
There's plenty of rooms. You spent the whole day here, remember? And there's baths and gardens and kitchens. And...
Okay, Anthea, I understand that.
Anthea's awake and Anthea's confused.
Anthea, I understand that. But Yoshie isn't the type of person to just go for a walk. And plus, he's left all his stuff here. So he's trying to
weapons and
hide
armor.
something.
Or he's just... I don't know. I don't
maybe
know
he's
that
just
he's-
out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So do you resolve to sort of just wait around and see what happens and everything? Okay.
I think give it a bit.
Yeah.
And just see, it's early. It's very early.
As you're all up, did you want to just sort of head towards the kitchen and see if there's anything that
Yeah.
you want to eat and everything?
Nada's just going to go and wake Nipa up and just let him know.
And
Sure.
we
What
can
is-
always see if when he does come back, if he says anything. And if not, then we'll be more suspicious.
I mean, I don't think he'll say anything, but it's probably our best bet if we can't find nothing. But I
We'll
don't know
always
why
just
he's
be
left all
like-
his stuff here except weapons or armor. That's not stuff you just walk around with usually if you're just going for a stroll.
Maybe he
I mean,
sleepwalks.
we do have a bounty on our heads.
Sleepwalking. Yeah, this is
Did.
true.
But
Well,
still, I don't
might still be there, yeah. Okay, so we will say that you all sort of head down towards the kitchens to sort of get what you want, and we're going to flash back to what Yoshi's doing. Right, so Yoshie, let's drag us over there. Okay, so Yoshie, in front of you is the leaders of the Enclave of Shadow, and they've been instructed by the booming voice of Mask to present themselves towards you. In your head, you're told to put your hand or your paw on their forehead as they swear their oaths to Mask.
So how far away from me are they?
Well, they all sort of line it. You're in the centre, and they all sort of. We're not going to move any tokens around or anything like that. Just role play it. So they're in front of you, and you put your hand on the first one, Mbenge, and he swears his oath to. He's actually a cleric, so he swears a full-on oath to Mask, and. What happens? What does it look like as you pass this mark of Mask to him?
I think it's like dark tendrils crawl down my arm and form like almost a mask shape on the head, just like purple and black.
Okay.
Swirling.
So everyone sees as Yoshie puts his arms forward, and these tendrils of darkness go down and envelop the head of Mbenge as he's swearing these oaths. There's a purple flash of light, and the mask stays there for a moment and then sort of fades away. And he's passed. He's been judged worthy. One by one, they all come up towards you to take this oath. There's only one who fails, and this is Stroch Uwe, that was fighting on behalf of Imustri. And so, in this case, you put your hand on his forehead. He swears his oaths. There's the purple flash of light. And then you see him arc underneath your hand, and his mouth hangs open like he's screaming at the top of his voice, but there's no sound coming up. And you see his eyes begin to bubble, and this black smoke begins to come out of his mouth as he collapses to the ground. Just wisps of black smoke coming out from him. They begin to sort of swirl, and then they go towards one of the statues where Mask's voice is coming from, and they absorbed by the statue. And you hear Mask's voice. Stroch is a liar. He is Zentarum through and through. Now there's a little bit more trepidation as they present themselves towards you to receive your mark, and there's a little bit of sweat sort of dripping down some of their faces. But the rest all do pass. Finally, once everyone has passed, the booming voice of Mask comes out again and says, Council leaders, prepare for war. Shah is moving against me here in Chult, and these cultists of Ishodo feature in her plans somehow. I have protected this temple, and none may pass the entrances unless they bear my mark. My champion is tasked with retrieving the Dagger of Return. He and his companions are to be given all aid, although the companions are not permitted to enter this holy hall. The lights brighten slightly as Mask's presence fades away, but his final words bear the unspoken threat. Oh, council members, do better. And then it's fully light within the temple again. Okay, so Yoshie, what are you doing?
I'm walking towards Spymaster Carol, and I sort of search around his body to see if I can find that chain dagger he had.
Okay, so yeah, you take the chain dagger, and Mbenge sort of notices this, and he begins to sort of walk over to you. He's now further back at this stage, and it will take a turn or so to sort of walk over to you. You have a chance to look at the body again, if you like, see if there's anything else.
Okay, I'm gonna go see if there's any like valuables that I could loot. Maybe something that sparks interest.
Okay, let's have a quick look. Right, you see okay, you notice first of all that he's got a nice set of studded leather armour on him. He's wearing a nice pair of gloves, and he also has a certain amount of coin on him. You can choose one before Mbenga tries to stop you if you want to try and take it.
Gloves.
The gloves?
Yeah.
Okay, so you receive... Okay, tell me if this shows up for you, yeah?
Okay, so it's a long name, that means it's good.
Okay, so if you pop that into the compendium, it should come up with something, and you can put it across onto your sheet. Okay, so as you sort of pulling these gloves off, Carol, and Bango's like, he's just looking sort of like a little bit disbelieved at you, and he's like, you do realise that he was a leader of this temple? Surely you should treat him with a little bit more respect.
I appreciate your concern for Mr. Carroll, but I'm very sure I outrank you, seeing as if I'm literally the champion of mask.
Huh? Okay. I think that's pure and pure intimidation. Intimidation check.
Oh, okay. I'm not very
Yes.
good at intimidation.
Okay.
Let's see. I use inspiration.
Okay, okay, fair enough. This is the point to use that. Okay, so critically, he sort of eyes sort of widen, and he's like, of course, my understanding was that we were to aid you. You're not technically my superior, but you know, understanding the hostility that's now radiating from you is it's like my corpse to loot, piss off. Sort of thing. Is like, okay, I'm gonna leave this guy alone for a bit. And I'd say with a crit, yes, you do receive the other items. You receive 15 gold, and I'll copy the other one across to you. Oh no, hang on. It was the... Okay, that, and you've got the 15 gold, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, after you have finished looting the corpse of the leader, everyone's sort of like eyeing you a little bit. People are beginning to sort of like go up into sort of like little groups. Those people that have recently found themselves on opposite sides of a conflict are beginning to like reconcile. Like a Pestro's going, you know, I didn't know what was going on. I'm sorry, Ipu. I didn't, you know, mean to attack you so badly. And everyone's sort of like making friends again. You are. Everyone's very certain now that everyone in this room is entitled to be here. You all can trust each other in your devotion to Mask, so to speak. Looking up towards the doorways, you can't see it all the time, but every now and then there seems to be like this purplish shimmer, and you get the idea that if anyone were to attempt to come through, that there might be an issue here. So the I think it's Archivist Stavern that sort of comes over to you and says, "Come with us through to the meeting room, and we shall discuss this." Everyone is still pretty unsteady on their feet. Just stay where you are. I'll drag you in. Where is... So the remaining members, you've got Astiro, Mbenge and Archivist Stavern, and then Dwali, who'll be the other leader, is currently on his mission to track down the cultists. So you find yourself sitting around this table. I'll drag you here. And Stavern sort of like looks at you and he says, and he's got this homunculus here, and he gestures for the homunculus to serve drinks to everyone, and this little mechanical creature goes up, pours a little bit of wine, and sets glasses down in front of everyone. And Stavern says, "Sir, to help you in your quest, we find ourselves a little bit at a disadvantage. You see, Spymaster Carroll, he was, as his name suggests, the spymaster for the guild, and well, we do not know who his contacts were. So the only way that I'll be able to help you here is to sort of go through the records and see what we can find in our small wee library here."
The help would be appreciated, thank you.
And he sort of nods. And Mbenge says, "So how did you find yourself in service to Mask? And how did you become this champion?"
Well, let's say some unfortunate events happened, and Mars contacted me to a place that I have witnessed in my past, and informed me that I'd become this champion of his.
Mbenge seems a little bit confused by that, but he sort of lets it pass. And Astira, she's got this very, very pale, she's a blue face, but it's like a pale, sort of the drow sort of paleness to her, sort of icy eyes looking across at you. And she says, "Our Mask mentioned compatriots?"
Yes, I have allies who are assisting me. That is another thing.
Describe them for me.
Well, there's two big blue guys. Don't really know what they're called. Well, there's Eldas and Anthir.
Eldas and Anthir. I knew it! I know who you are! And she looks around at the rest of the group and she says, "He's worth 5,000 gold.
Let me guess, you're talking about the unsanctioned hit that has been placed on my head. Well, that shall be dealt with in 2 days.
So, and she sort of says, "Okay, sort of tell me about it and everything." And you relay the full-on story about Suavo and everything like that. I mean, it emerges she's the hired killer of the guild. She's the one that takes on main contracts and everything. So she's obviously very well aware of you. She's not going to try and claim, because obviously you're the champion of her guard and everything. But yeah, she says to you, "Well, if what you're saying is true, and Suavo's calling it off, I should know. I'll be one of the first to know." So this is really your point of contact to know when that has been taken off your heads. So what do you want to do now, Yoshie? Do you want to head back, or did you want to sort of hang here and see what's happening? Because you are unaware of what really time it is. This is all underground. So.
Yeah. I think I'm going to ask them if it would be possible for my allies to have a resting place, a place of safety for here to hide out while we have the bounty on our heads.
Okay, so make a... Yeah, okay, so persuasion check with advantage, really, because they are meant to aid you.
Persuasion. There it is.
Yeah, okay, so Mbenge is the coins master. He works for one of the beggar princes, and he's actually provided accommodations within the main ziggurat of the beggar prince. And you'll recall that this leads off from his apartment down to the temple. So he has a guest room area that you could stay in. But he reiterates to you that the rest of your friends are not allowed in the temple itself. This room you're in, fine, but anything past those secret doors, they're not allowed in.
Yes.
Under penalty of whatever pain is going to be passing these barriers, you know what I mean? Okay, so do you, I take it you go off to go tell your friends, or do you want to say anything else?
Yes. I say, well, thank you for your assistance in this matter.
Okay.
And then leave.
Alright, so you how are you getting back into the mansion? Are you just coming up to the door, or are you going to try and climb over?
Entrances. Oh, going back to the mansion, I'm going to just walk through the door.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. It's probably a better idea than trying to sort of jump over the wall and break in, because that way you might get a spear through you. Okay.
And also, if I come through the door, I can just play it off as if, early in the morning, I went for a walk.
Okay. So, yeah, you get through to this door here. They know you. They open the door for you. Everyone else, you see Yoshie. You're directed through to the kitchen. You're all sitting in the kitchen as Yoshie comes through. So, Yoshie, take it away. You see everyone sort of look up at you expectantly. What do people say? Can't hear you. Can't hear you, Rai.
Oh, I was saying, sorry. I said, Nada goes, I knew he was out. I knew it.
I just went for a walk to look around the market stalls.
Are the markets even open at this time?
Yeah, I
Looked around the layout of shops.
Sorry, that looks like an insight check to me, Eldas.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm doing Nipa's doing it as well.
I smell bullshit.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. That's really badly done.
Nipa Bloodthorn. Insight.
Okay,
Nada.
Eldas, are you going to insight? And then we need the deception from you, Yoshie, as the counterpoint to that.
Okay. I think I'm quite good at deception, so... That sounds so strange. So...
What is up with my
Oh,
roll?
Yeah. There's apparently
actually-
late night markets in Port Nyanzaru. It's a cosmopolitan town that never closes, apparently.
Look, that is actually a 5 stat as well. That is wisdom. That's my highest stat, and I'm not crap. Mumble, groan.
So Yoshi, you've got this armor and stuff like that. I mean, there's something you're lugging about with you, or did you leave it at the temple? What's happened with that?
So what have you got
You've
there?
got it. So you lugging a whole lot of armor with you, yeah.
So what, where did you find all that stuff?
That must have cost a fortune.
Not necessarily, it's only some leather, really.
Does Nipa realise that that's not just leather? Would he
Do you want to try?
notice?
Do you want to try use your ability to have a look?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is glowing brightly.
I'm
Nip-
gonna just say blatantly that I'm suspicious of you, but I had a really cookie dream last night, which I will explain in a minute, and it told me to trust you.
What mushrooms did you have today, Eldas?
Nipper looks at Yoshie and goes, "That's magical. That's enchanted." And what's the school? What's the school? What's the school of magic? What would you call it?
It's a glamour.
That's one I haven't seen before. The glamour school.
Well, not the glamour school, but so I mean, what would that be? Not evocation.
Bardic magic.
It's what? Sorry.
What's glamour bars? You mean like glamour bars? That sort of thing.
No.
Do you want to explain about the
Yeah, Nip. I mean, it's the school. What is these? What is this school of the enchantment? Like, is it elemental, which makes it evocation? Is it more shielding, which makes it? Or is it
It's
abjuration? Is
to do
shield?
with
Isn't
changing
glamour
your
just-
perceptions and it's more enchantment. But not enchantment like giving stats to stuff, but the actual
No, I mean
enchantment.
the school of magic. Where they change
Yeah.
properties.
I was grasping for it in my mind for several minutes as you
Yeah,
might
no, I
have
was a
noticed.
bit. Yeah, no.
Look at me, I've put a glamour on.
Fine,
I'm a
I'll
cat.
tell you the truth.
Oh.
I was attacked while I was out. They had this armor. It looked quite nice, so I thought I'd take it.
I don't. Nipper's eyeing you like, I know you're bullshitting, but I can't prove it.
There is a serious smell of bullshit floating around this room at the moment.
I can't prove it, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
It's like, it's just clear Nipper just thinks you're lying, but
Yeah.
he just casually sits a cup of
Anyway,
coffee staring.
Anyway,
Yoshi's not engendering a lot of confidence from his group at the moment.
I have something I'd like to talk to everybody about. I have reason to believe that there is a new god that is trying to disrupt the balance of the world, and we need to go to the city of Ummel to destroy it.
Wait, has the machine finished?
Machine?
The salt?
Yeah.
No, what we found in the temple, the Salmonger.
You recognise that the Soulmonger is the same thing that you heard about in the temple.
Head to the
There's
south.
one piece of new information in there.
In that temple, it said go to the south or something. It's an Nipper starts going through trying to find what direction he noted down. It said.
Yeah, I think it's
So you've been told to go to the city of Omu, and you've been told to go south. So I assume the city of Omu is south. Somewhere.
I have no idea where the city is. I presume we could ask someone.
No, I have an idea.
Maybe it sounds Cheltenham. Maybe I could find something on it in the archives.
We've been told to go to a temple of Mesra, but we've also been told to go to the lost city of Omu.
No
Both of
one's.
them south. So
Mesro.
I assume that temple
Mesro was a
Mesra-
temple. Mesro was a city temple, so to speak, of Ubtao.
Yeah, Uptao actually created Mesro.
I assume maybe it's somewhere near that. So we can go to
How do you
to
know?
collect any information that we could find there.
How do you know the city of Ummel is south?
I didn't say that. No, I don't. I don't think. I think he assumed. But no, we
you
don't.
were actually told about it when you were reading the in the temple of Omu. You were reading about Omu raising a city to the south, and it is called Mesro.
Mesro.
Ubtao, you mean?
Knowing where the Soulmonger is was when the ghost of the builder was facing in a particular direction, saying, "I feel it. I feel that it's the Forsaken One. I feel it pulling me," and he was also facing south. So either Mesro and the city of Omu are the same thing, or they both happen to be to the south.
Or both above each other.
Oh. So today I'll look in, see if I can find any information concerning both Mesro and the city of Umel, assuming both are separate entities, and anything where they are, any maps about them, see if I can
Okay, well,
jot down where they
does
are.
anyone want to do anything around the house or anything at the first part of the morning before we head off and Nipa starts doing his research?
I'm going to look around, see if I've got any meat that's been prepared.
Any meat that's been prepared?
Yes.
So you look over the same cook as there was yesterday, and she gives you a smile and a wink, and nods over to another leg of lamb. This one is cooked a lot less. It's rarer than the other one. It's still sort of dripping some blood and everything like that. It's all yummy.
I said,
And she said, "I'll put that aside for you."
thank you. And I just like take my teeth along the bone, like lengthways, and I just scrape all the meat off of it until the bone is clean.
I think Nada, like you know when you hear the chalkboard noise, he just like flinches for a second, like what the hell is that? It's like I think there's part of Nada which is like that looks kind of nice, and the other part that goes that's disgusting, and it's like that clash of what he's been taught and that clash of like internal semi-draconic instinct.
That's sort of like, oh, I could do some of that as well, actually. So
No, I really shouldn't.
Fair enough. Actually, is Nada still sitting there in his fluffy, personalised dressing gown?
Yeah, I'd
Is he?
say it is.
Yeah, Yoshi's gonna get in the bath.
Yeah, Yoshi's going to go have a bath, is he?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think Nala's taken it off. He slept in it. He's like,
It's
he's just like-
luxuriating in this beautiful softness. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a very much a surprise to see Nada out of any armor with no weapons on him, and it just as a kobold with a tail.
This is how the other half live. So yeah, Yoshi says, "Oh, I'm going to head off to the baths and all that. Are you going to go join him as well, or?"
Sure, yeah, Nada will have bath. He's
Yeah, so
he'll-
Nada and Yoshi are heading off towards the baths. Nipa's eager to sort of head out the door.
yeah.
And Eldas?
I'm just gonna check in with Charmander, make sure he's alright.
Cool, okay,
Maybe
so
play with
Charmander
him.
is in the garden, just outside the apartments that you've been given. He's all sort of curled up. There's sort of like a rug which he's on. There's lots of sort of chewed on bones and everything around him. They've been made sure that he's very well fed. And occasionally you have noticed that some of the guards have been taking kindly to Charmander and sort of like playing around with him in the garden and sort of just pissing about, and he
I'm
seems
just
to be
gonna
having
go
a way
sit.
of the
I
town.
suppose if you're on duty for a while, you just eventually get bored, don't you? And you're like,
I'm just gonna go sit and chat with him and tell him what we've been talking about and my dream, and he might not understand it all, but explain that we'll be on another adventure soon, and
Yeah.
it'd be great if you come along and really
Yeah,
consider you my
he's
companion.
He's well keen to sort of be carrying on here. He's keen to be part of this pack, and he feels special. He was always the outcast, wasn't he? The little runt and the one that was sort of pushed out. Here he feels valued and special. So yeah, he's
My
certainly
little
keen
lean,
to
mean
sort of
green
help.
machine.
Yeah.
oh yeah, totally.
He sort of like looks around, and you get the sense that the city is a little bit much for him, with all these people around and the noises and everything. He would prefer, if it's okay, to sort of stay in the garden with his new sort of friends, and he sort of like looks up and there's like one particular guard there, trying to sort of pretend
Look
he
like
wasn't
he's
playing
doing
with him 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm just doing my duty. That's what
Yeah.
I paid for. What? No, I wasn't playing with the dog. No, totally not.
Dog.
So to speak. He's not really well, pest is he now? He's more of a companion. He
He's
comes
a
along with us,
companion more
does
than a
stuff
pet,
like
isn't he? Yeah. Because you can
Yeah.
actually speak to him more than you can a dog.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
He bites a lot harder too.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
At
So has
least
he
he
still got his
doesn't piss all
chainmail
over me when he gets excited.
on? So yeah, he's happy to stay there. So the day is yours, Eldas, if you wanted to do anything.
Um,
I mean, you could sort of spend the day trying to sort of make any of the potions that you've got, or
I could do, but I don't.
point in case that new potion that you've been given, you do realise that you have giant ancestry, yeah,
Firbolgs
as a
do.
Firbolg.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have a giant fingernail.
Yes.
I don't actually have any of the stuff to make
No, but you can get
a
some.
You have
recipe.
giant ancestry in you, so one of your
Oh,
fingernails
you can use my
will do.
fingernail.
Yeah,
It's
because you are part
Okay.
Firbolgs are giants, really. They were just changed a little bit when they were in the Feywild.
So yeah, well, I'll probably just make some potions.
Okay, so should we do that one quickly before Nipa heads out?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have all the stuff or do you know what you're doing?
Absolutely no idea.
No idea.
I love the enthusiasm.
Alright, let's have a quick look at your...
I want to know what I'm doing, but there's just a lot
Right.
of information.
So you've got 7 potions that you can make that you know the recipe for. So you've got healing, clairvoyance, climbing, acid resistance, heroism, diminution, and the last one.
Yeah,
that
but
you've just
then it's having all the
Yeah, I mean, do you have them?
ingredients. I don't know. I must have something.
I think.
I don't know.
I mean, you can make a potion of healing. You've got any of the base herbs, and then the primary is a higher petal. I'm fairly sure you've got higher petal, and the secondary is pororice. So I'll tell you what. You look through that. See what you would like to make after Nipa has made his excursion. Yeah, we'll come back to you. Yeah. So Nipa, where are you heading? Because you'll recall Wakungas didn't have anywhere that you could research anything on
there was
divine.
the temple, wasn't there?
There was. Yeah. Okay. So there was Temple of Savras.
Savros, yes, that's the one.
Okay, let's take you over to the map. Can you actually see the map? Yeah, everything should be in daylight. Yeah.
I'm just gonna zoom out, find where we are on the map. There we are.
I'll zoom you into the map. You are currently there.
Well, I'll move my 5.
Okay. Temple of Savras is this is Golden Dome, where the seat of government is. So you go across this bridge and then further around to the other bridge to the Temple of Savras, which is here. Okay.
Okay, so we go.
I'm not going to make you walk through or anything. We'll just sort of we'll fast forward to sort of coming through the Temple of Savras. So the beggar that you avoided the last time that you saw here, that was looking out for you, is not here. So you come into the temple itself, and it's open at the top to the air. The walls all seem to be sandstone. There's arches, and as you're walking in, you see in the centre an old man with a white beard and 3 darkly clothed younger sort of men, not Cholton. They seem to be foreign. Look a lot like the new guards that are walking around the walls. You see them in a little bit of some sort of heated debate with this guy who's in priest robes.
What language are they speaking?
You are not close enough to actually see. You can just see from the actions, and you see one of them sort of like move threateningly towards the old priest.
Obviously, I begin to approach that sort of thing. Just obviously wanting to gain access to the temple.
Okay. As you sort of get closer, one of them sort of like elbows the guy that's gesticulating and sort of like elbows him, sort of like nods towards you. And you're just close enough to hear their final words saying, "We'll be back, old man. I suggest you reconsider." And they walk past, and the one that noticed you sort of like doesn't give you like a shoulder brush because you're like knee high to it, but sort of attempts to sort of like knock you out of the way.
I swiftly get out of the way with obviously good dexterity. Just slip out of the way. Just.
Okay, just make a quick dexterity check for me.
Sure.
It's really low, but
I'll do acrobatics. Makes no difference.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, you avoid it. You hear them sort of like grumbling, and yeah.
I
don't
approach
sort
the
of,
old
like,
man.
react to
What's he
anything else.
wearing?
Pardon?
What's the old man wearing? Is there any sort of identifying symbols on him? Anything I recognise?
Okay,
Anything
he's
I've read about?
He's in flowing light sort of linen robes that are general in sort of Chult, but around his neck is a golden sort of chain with the single eye of Savras hanging at his chest.
And Savras is the god of.
Basically the knowledge. Savras is the god of
Okay, god of
actually,
knowledge.
make a religion check for me.
Okay. This is one I can do, kinda. 5 isn't kinda, but that's untrained.
Okay, what is it? What was the result?
10.
10. Okay, so
Yeah.
on general, you would know that Savras was the god of mages and wizards in the service to Mistra, the goddess of magic. Yeah, some of his titles are the All-Seeing, He of the Third Eye, or the Lord of Divination. You would know that people come to this temple to seek out things that are lost, maybe, like to divine where something that's lost may be found, or to see whether their future travel into Chult has good portents, whether they should leave now or wait for a week. But it's also a place that houses knowledge.
So I approach the old man and he's a human, is he?
He is a Chultan human, and he is, as I said, a very, very long beard. I don't have the thing for him. Where is this? Here we go. It's that. Helps if I'm on the right one. Let me see what it says about him. Okay, yeah. So he's got this long white beard. His crinkled eyes. He's an old man, and he sort of like looks up to you. He's got bright blue eyes though. Are very, very sharp and intelligent. He might be old, but there's nothing lacking up there, if you know what I mean.
Obviously, yeah. Obviously, my child accent. Good morning, sir. I've come to seek wisdom in the Temple of Savras, I do believe.
You are correct. You are in the Temple of Savras. What guidance are you seeking? And you see him sort of like frown as and sort of glance out at those three that are just sort of like exited, and you see this like worried frown across his face, and then he sort of like clears and he says, "I'm sorry, I'm distracted. What guidance do you seek, my child?"
I quickly switched to Elvish just to lessen her language.
To Elvish.
If you don't mind me asking, what was all that about?
Okay, let me see if he speaks Elvish.
I'm thinking someone so learned would speak such a language.
Well, okay. And he replies in fluent Elvish, and he says, "I am surprised that you speak the Elvish tongue. They want me to divine something for them, but I had the sense that their intentions were evil, and I refused. I will not aid in something that is evil.
No,
And they did not take my refusal well.
those people don't. Did I catch anything while I was walking past? Any symbols that could jump out to me as a certain brand of evil or of cult or of, are they cultists to the primordials or do they serve certain evil god?
Okay, I'm going to need a DC check here. I'm going to let
What?
you choose. Yeah, but make an argument for it.
Seeing as this is very much about the history of the area of the gods and of the people.
I
and the
thought you were
actual
trying
people
to
follow
discern
them.
something about the people.
Yeah, the people. Like, what they were. Did I catch any symbols or anything that I jumped out to me as this is evil, this is bad, this is why you should avoid them?
Okay, so religion-wise, no, there's nothing that sort of steps out as evil.
Any
They seem to be
historical
fighting
context?
types. From what you see, they just seem to be fighting types. Although their armor does seem to be blackened.
Yeah, I mean, were there any sort of major Cholton or even foreign cults that seek to spread and conquer that jumped out to me in my research?
Countless
or anything
ones,
I
but
read
nothing
about?
that comes to mind. You do know that they weren't Cholton.
No.
Yeah. And I think actually make a perception check. I think that's going to work better with these because there's nothing really religious I can give you on them.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Inspiration.
They people, apparently.
I feel inspired.
By the way,
You feel inspired. Okay, so with a 19, you would you'd be able to place them as actually a Tethrian, which is just somewhere you've heard of across the way, very distinct. They look very much like the new Zentarum guards that have been hired to guard the walls of Port Nyanzaru recently as like an extra mercenary company. Yeah, you're absolutely 100% sure that they are Zentarum, those three.
Okay. That's they're from a way away. They're far
Well,
away.
there are many foreign people in Port Nyanzaru at the moment.
I know. There's something that jumps out to me. Well, original research in a minute, but where would I find anything about the history of the Zentarum?
History of
Their
the Zentarum.
peoples?
Ah.
Their
If you
peoples.
was looking to find knowledge, this is the temple.
I guess I just gotta go exploring.
Our records are not sacred, but they are well protected. And he looks around and he's like, if I had Eshek here, I'd be able to have him escort you. Actually, one moment. And he
Yes, sir,
stops
of
and
course.
you hear him call for someone called Inette.
In
It's like Inette. And you see this young sort of very dark-skinned Cholton female sort of like poke her head around the door. And she's like, yes, grandfather, yes. What can I do for you? And he says, this gentleman, you did not give me your name.
I do, but you can call me Nipa.
I am Grandfather Zitembe, the high priestess of this. High priestess? He looks down and he says, I hope not. the high priest of this temple.
I just chuckle and go, obviously it's respectful. You bow to someone like that. It's a pleasure to meet you, high priest.
So he says, if you are looking for anything in particular, for a donation of 20 gold as the high priest, he can seek portents or divination. He might be able to help you should you struggle in your studies and find things that you don't understand.
Okay.
And he says, with Eshek here, I have other duties. With Eshek not here, I have other duties I must attend to. Come and speak to me later if you need to. Annette, please take our guest to the records and help him with his task. Do you want to say anything else before he leaves?
I can imagine Nipa would have these months where he slips back into Draconic. You know, it's still his main language. Like
into
I
Draconic.
think he just says thank you. Oh sorry, I slipped back into my native language there.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't understand Draconic.
So yeah, sorry, thank you.
Okay, and he nods and walks off. So Annette looks up at you sort of eagerly. She's got very wide, dark brown eyes. As I said, she's got very black skin. She's wearing sort of a green sort of robe. Age-wise, she seems fairly young, probably 18, 19.
How tall is she?
How tall is she? She's about 5'3".
So she's nearly double my height.
She's nearly double your height, yeah, but fairly small for a Chelton woman.
Yeah, I pull out, like, it's a bit of parchment, and that's one part that I roll up, but it's a bit frayed at the edges. It looks like it's been noted down quite a lot. And there's a bit of an order of business, but would you have any knowledge on Uptow and his followers and any history about that?
Ah, the lost god of Chult. Yes, this is very interesting. We have many tomes, much information on Uptow. I mean, obviously you knew that he's the god of Chult beforehand, and she starts going through a lot of sort of very general knowledge that you already sort of know. Okay, so we're going to do a roll to see what information you get. So there's certain things that she can get you information on.
I'm trying to follow up on the Chult, on his followers and why.
On his followers, okay.
I can understand that every darn language there is except a few.
Okay, so we're going to need a DC check here. Actually, I'm going to give you one for free, okay? Because she does know a little bit about it. She brings you like whole stacks of tomes and everything, and you spend a good part of the morning going through this. And about sort of lunchtime, you've paged together some notes yourself, and you do know a little bit about the Barret, who are the. Sorry, 1 second. They're the chosen of Uptow. Let me just check this. If I show this to... Oh, shit. Okay, I've shown that to everyone, yeah? Everyone's got that.
I've just died. 1 second. Get Roll20 up.
Okay, it's fine. Come back.
I don't see it. Oh.
Do you know, I just died, lol.
There should be something under special handouts. I think I've given it to everyone.
Cool, give me a second, I'll check
I
it.
just have poisons.
Okay.
Special handouts. Player handouts. Supplemental material. Special.
Okay,
Special handouts.
Okay, so I click show to them, but so this I can just put straight to you then. So you find that information during the morning. Okay. Eldas. Okay, while this he's doing his research, it's showing that you can see it now. You are the...
Yes.
Where is it?
Under special handouts?
Player handouts, chapter 1. Ah, there we go. The 7 Beret of Mesro.
Yeah, so that's the information that you find during that morning of research. During this morning, Eldas, you've tried to make a potion, haven't you?
I've tried to make several.
You tried to make several. Okay, right. Let's go for the first one. Right.
So this is so I know where I'm at with what I've made and what I've used.
Okay, so let's have a look. Herbalism kits. Blah 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 blah. So. The first one that you're doing is the potion of diminution. How do you say that?
Diminution. I don't know.
Okay, so roll 1d4. Let's see how long it takes. Okay, so it takes 3 hours. Okay, so you've got to prepare pygmy mace, sea bloom, and a base herb. How do you do these? DC
Well,
15 skill
I'm
checks.
using a pygmy mace as a base herb,
Okay.
as well as the other.
As well as the secondary, yeah. As the primary,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So I need to prepare that in 2 different ways. One, it needs to be ground into like a dust
Okay.
and then turned into a paste for the base.
So I think that's
And
probably that's
then-
quite strength intensive, isn't it? So I think we need a strength check on this one, yeah?
Okay.
Some sort of strength check. Oh yeah, so it's a nice fine powder that you've done.
Yeah.
And the other way to prepare it is how?
And then it's just to chop it like herbs.
Okay, so just sort of like roughly. So let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you like to use for that one? To see maybe if you don't chop off your fingers somehow.
Dexterity?
Yeah, dexterity, cool. Like yeah. A 12. Ooh, so 12 is a fail. Okay. All right, and the sea bloom. How do you? So I think it's a little bit too roughly chopped. There's some very large pieces and there's some very small pieces. It's not quite what you need, but it'll
Bit
do.
chunky.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the sea bloom, I just try and melt that down and turn it all
Turns
into a
this like
mush.
viscous sort of like bubbling thing, and then you've got to mix it together.
Yeah.
Something wisdom maybe, or a nature check to see when it's okay.
I did
Perfect.
wisdom when you-
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that's a pass. That's 2 passes. So you get the mixture together, and you roll with your herbalism kit. It's a straight roll because you only had 2 passes there. And let's see if this succeeds or not. It's a DC 17 on your herbalism kit. $15. Okay, so if it's 11 to 17, the potion succeeds but has half the effect. Okay, so I think we reduce the time. What is the potion of diminution? What does it do?
Makes people smaller.
Yeah, for how long?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
Okay, so let's have a look. For 1d4 hours. No concentration. Alright, so yeah, you do get this, but put half strength. Okay, and we'll find out whether you take that, whether you don't sort of shrink down enough, or whether it just doesn't last long. We'll see. Okay, so that took 3 hours. Nipa is currently still studying. Nada and Yoshie, you're in the bath.
I think while I'm in the bath, I say to Nada, if you can hear me under there, because you're kind of submerged in water.
Well, has Nada got his bucket again?
I've got the bucket.
Yeah, he's got the bucket, right, okay.
I think I might have found a place that we can stay once we can no longer stay at Wakanga's.
I mean, shouldn't we try to stay in the taverns around the city so we don't seem like criminals?
No, it's a safer place.
I mean,
we still have a bounty on our heads, remember?
But we're safer with the leaders of the city rather than in the underbelly where they can strike at us in their home turf.
Yeah, this is a safe. Okay, Wakanga's is a safe place, but remember, he's got family coming. You can only stay one more night because
in the taverns, isn't it best to stay in the taverns, like be
I lean in.
tavern?
This persuasion check or something so he can actually bloody
I
believe
won't-
me?
I won't say anything for now, but where did you go last night?
I just went on a walk, talked to a couple of people.
But when did you find this safe place, so to speak?
Last night.
I think you need to be a little bit more forthcoming if you're trying to convince someone to sort of
You
stay
encountered
in a
someone,
safe
didn't
place.
Yeah, I encountered someone.
Something? What?
No, someone. He went by the name of Carol. I got this cool thing, and I like pick up the chain dagger, spin it around.
I mean,
But-
how open are you about what's happened? Because currently the group is you've been out, you've come back with some stuff, and you've been pretty
I'm not-
cagey about it. In all honesty,
Yeah, I'm
So-
not going to be completely open because they're probably going to trust me even less.
yeah. But you've got to give the group something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, I went to a temple, and they said we could stay there for a little bit.
Okay. I can see this going many ways, but it seems like you must be under some sort of oath.
I think you're talking about not being able to go through. I mean, you wouldn't know anything about that. I mean, I don't think there's any much with
Nada's
the
just-
information you've got, Nada. I don't think there's much more that you can go on. there,
Yeah, I think Nada's just guessing that he's almost promised not to tell the whole truth to someone.
so- Mm.
You know, in the market, in the world, there are contracts of honor you take, that you swear to protect, you swear to keep secret.
Does he say this out loud? Does Nipa say?
Yeah.
So Nada say that he thinks that.
He does say that. To me, it sounds like you've taken some sort of oath, but that's something that is off grounds.
I think Nada's trying to convey that if there's stuff that you're sort of keeping and it seems to be at KG, he's not going to be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But I think maybe you just sort of say, okay, well, it's an option. You know, when the rest of the group's there, we'll discuss it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I was like,
Or you
okay,
flat out. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, you finished your bath. Did you want to sort of chat anything else between the two of you?
No,
I
I
think-
say I
Okay.
can't wait till I get my dressing gown.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, you get up. There's the same sort of the same servant who was there before. It's obviously the bath servant, and he sort of like he nods to you, Nipa, sir. So as you sort of come in, passes you the hands, the
thank you, sir.
towels. Pardon?
He said, he's like, oh, no, no, sir, thank you, sir. Like, I said, what? I'm not your superior, you're my superior. Wait, what?
So he takes his customary position by the door as you're sort of having your bath. He's as far away as possible, so give you sort of like privacy while you're talking. So you get up, and I think Nada, so you get up first, and he says, so are you going to avail yourself of a massage today, or shall I see you again tomorrow morning?
Yeah, okay, I'll try one.
Okay, so Yoshie, you still luxuriating in the bath, and you
Yeah.
watch while sort of Nipa sort of gets put down on this
Nada.
bench. Sorry, Nada gets put down on this bench, and it starts off that there's oil gets put all over his scales and everything like that, and then the servant says, "Are you ready?"
Yeah?
Yeah, and there's a crunch from your back as there's the sharp pain that sort of goes through your body, but then there's a sense of relief that spreads out after it. You're
It's
like,
just a wince and like his eyes just go wide. Like, wait, what?
yeah, so Yoshie, you just see this this poor kobold being sort of manipulated into these really funny positions and sort of like these cracks coming, and then
I mean,
there's
you can
like a
imagine,
proper deep
he's never had
tissue.
anything of the sort. He's never had anything of the sort. So there's like 9 odd years worth of just creep
Yeah, I mean, you don't know whether you're being sort of very softly attacked or whether this actually feels good or not at the moment.
It's like confusion.
But there's elbows being dug into you. There's all of this sort of stuff. But at the end of it, you feel top notch. Yeah, you feel like a new kobold. Yeah, you're stretching those little pains and stretches that you didn't notice before because you'd lived so long with. They're all gone. You've got range of movement in your arms that you didn't have before. You feel top notch.
Yeah, it's like that. Was that magic? What was that?
I am very good at my job. And he gives a pleased smile. You satisfied, sir?
Yeah, I think Nada's like a bit overwhelmed. Like Nada, I think gives him just like, thank you for that. Let me repay you for your service, and he will give him 5 gold. Like,
Oh wow, okay.
Nada's like, so, you know, Nada doesn't come from this ruling class where you just get everything from serving. It's just like he's used to, you know, you go and do something, you then pay for it. You go and you then pay for it. It's like you're one group. You work together. You function together. You trade together.
So he's like, it is not necessary, but thank you. As you sort of like pulling your hand a little bit away, he's like, oh, but thank you. You know, I will have it though. So yeah, you take the 5 gold. So he looks up at you, Yoshie. You're still sitting down in the bath, looking over. You've seen this. I don't know what you think of this. Whether it looks horrendous or would you? And he says, "Sir, would you like a massage?"
I guess I'll try it. Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. So you, right. So you stand up out of the bath. Okay. Both Nada and the guy are looking at you as you stand up, and I don't know if you've ever seen a wet cat before. Okay, there's this where your face has been out of the water. It's all nice and puffy and everything, but where you stand, everything else is all tight to your body, and you look all skinny and scrawny and everything.
You know, that seems rather awkward. That seems rather awkward.
Do you laugh? I mean, what?
Nada doesn't laugh, but he's like, that looks really awkward to deal with.
I've got to see something. Yeah, so the servant refrains. He just manages to not laugh as you getting yourself out of the bath there. Yeah. So again, he sort of like towels you down a little bit, and you regain a little bit more of your form as your fur sort of fluffs out. He doesn't use oil on you because obviously with your fur it doesn't sort of work out. But again, lots of cracks and everything coming out of your body as he gives you a good sort of working over. It was probably like a good 40 minutes of sort of being manipulated around, and at the end of it, yeah, you feel superb. This guy is very good at his job.
Well, I sort of just stand up and wow, I didn't know any way I can repay you. I just sort of move around. I can move freer.
Yes, you must have done something to your left shoulder a little while ago. It took a while to get those knots out, but you should find it easier to move that
Thank you.
arm.
Thank you.
He knows to it. It is my pleasure, sir.
Look at the look on his face. Just like, maybe that's what happened last night. You got in a combat.
No, Nip Nada's just like, just watching this, just fair enough. Nada's not really one of those people who are like always plotting and scheming.
I'm not talking about Nada, I'm talking about you.
Oh, me? No, I don't
He
care.
knows he was there. as Riley, he was there. Okay. So we're going to flashback while you going through the last of your massage to actually Eldas, because you've got a chance to make that only took 3 hours, so you've got a chance to make your second potion.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to try and
okay.
make, what, 1 potion of giant strength first, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, 3
So
checks of your choice, and how's it working?
let's have a look.
So I take it you bite off 2 of your own fingernails.
Yeah.
Don't do that, use clippers, that's disgusting.
Shall I
Is that
check
what-
the
is
strength
that
of
what-
my
who's doing
teeth?
it?
Well, if you need the entire fingernail, you could always just lift them off and
Ew.
No, I'd
Well,
say
let's just say I don't do very well at trying to bite them off. I just get little shards and chunks and
yeah. So you try to bite off the first one, it doesn't work, and you think, right, okay, actually, might take out my dagger and try and trim those off. But we'll do the
Yeah.
3 checks against the herbs anyway.
okay.
Yeah.
That was so it needs 2 primary. So I think I'm going to try and mix it up this first time around.
Okay.
And I'm going to use 1 yukasabi and 1 sweet shisha.
So, okay. So how do you prepare the ukusabi?
The yukasabi is basically mixed in with loads of other stuff. So I'm just going to try and wash it off
Okay.
and, you know, cut it as fine as I can.
So I think if you just do three rolls of differing skills, and we'll see how these 3 herbs sort of work out. So an intelligence fail, wisdom's a fail. Okay. All right. So there's 1 pass. I think what the difficulty here is it's a recipe you learnt in a dream. You know what I mean? So it's hard to sort of really recollect. It's not quite that clear as it should be. But that
Yeah,
do
not
mean,
just that, but the yukasabis are really hard little seeds.
yeah.
And they're pinging off all over the place. They're not cutting up great.
You've lost half of it, and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do actually manage to get out something that's passable to sort of make into the potion that you're looking for. But you're going to roll your herbalism kit at disadvantage here because it only had 1 pass there. So you want more than 17. So you get
Oh,
13.
mate, I'm rolling
Okay.
so bad.
So again, this does succeed, but as it's between 11 and 17, it's only half of the effect. So if you put a potion of the giant strength, strength 19, but put half duration on that one. And also roll a 1d4 so we can find out how long that took you. Because I think we might be going back to Nipa.
1 hour.
Only took you 1 hour. Nice. Nice.
That's because half the ingredients are the other side of the room. They're pinging off everywhere.
So yeah, actually, I think we're going to have time for you to attempt your next one. Let's see if you do better at your second potion of giant strength.
Yeah. This time I used just the 2 sweet shishus.
You
'cause
can
the
use
seeds
instead of just
are
doing wisdom or
useless.
dexterity, you can also use like, I don't know, acrobatics or something like that as well. Actual skills.
Yeah, and also you keep on using saves, even if you were doing it the other way.
Medicine, yeah, that's cool.
It doesn't save me anything. Honestly, I'm rolling so bad.
Alright, so again, it's 1 pass. So roll your herbalism kit at disadvantage. Come on, 2 nat 20s. We want 2 nat 20s.
2 nat ones.
Oh, there was 1 nat 20 and 1 crit fail. Oh my lord.
Inspiration. I feel inspired. You?
I mean, you could inspire on that. You could use your Oh no, she lost her inspiration. She used her inspiration
Yeah,
straight
no,
away.
I used
Does someone
it,
want to
don't
sacrifice their inspiration to give to
Use
Eldas?
mine, sorry.
Yeah, use yours.
I've used mine.
Oh, Anthir has an inspiration.
Yeah. Okay. So you crit. Somehow, you were so sure that this potion was doing even worse than the last one, but somehow, you pull out a fantastic potion. So, with a crit, a potion succeeds, and I roll twice on the added effects table for this one. So yeah, potion of giant strength, and then put 2 times potion added effects. And we actually roll that at the time that you take the potion.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no giving you clues as to what's happening.
Oh, that sucks. I thought you were going to be like, you instantly die.
Well, there's some
It's
really
like-
good ones.
It's like you just collapse.
That's going to be a good potion.
You
though.
just get giant strength in your big toe or something.
It's like you're now really hairy.
All right, how long did this one take? This amazing mega potion. 2
Your bad
hours.
rolls are coming in your favour.
Okay, so 2 hours. This is, you're not doing too badly. However, it is now sort of getting to sort of like lunchtime. Nipa, you have managed to study and get what you can about the beret of Ubtao. I forgot who was there for a second. So, Inette, during the morning, has been very, very helpful to you. And she's managed to bring out a few other sort of tomes around about sort of Ubtao.
I would
So
obviously
you've
think
got,
that
you can really
appreciate-
study either Ubtao and Mesro lore, or you can go through a Mesro timeline.
What would be most helpful as to Mesro itself, as how to get there, what to do. I think maybe the lore side of it will be a good place to study. Try and find find out about Mesro in a way that is more
Okay.
of what a follower would know.
Right, so there's
And
around
al-
about 20 books in front of you. So she just keeps piling more and more and more on top. Anything that's got anything loosely related to Ubtao or Mesro just keeps getting put in front of you. Let's see if you can dig through these and get any relevant information. What check are you going to use? The DC is 15.
Can I investigate that shit?
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, investigate through what she's done. And
Oh, really?
let's see what it was.
That's terrible.
Oh my lord. Yeah,
We're
it's
just
just
having one of them days.
it's just literally the full-on wealth of information that's been put in front of you. It's just a little bit overwhelming, and it'll probably take another session of study if you would be able to sort of make more sense of this.
Yeah, I mean, he's willing to dedicate time, like.
Okay,
I think
roll a
what-
1d4. How long did it take you to try that? 1d4. If it's 3 or less, I'll let you... Okay, brilliant. I'll let you try again now before the evening. So what,
Nipa's like,
are you going to
"Whoa,
investigate it again, or... Yeah?
That's a lot.
It's a 1. 25! Yay! Okay, right. So, you receive some Mesro lore. Bang. It should be there.
Yeah, sure. Go.
You got that.
Yep, cool.
Alright, so it's getting sort of close to the evening time. So, Eldas, I think you'd probably have 5 hours to play with your potion making. So should we see how far we get
Yeah.
with your other one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just close
Okay.
down this mesro. Potion of diminution, herbalism kit. Yes, we need that. Okay, I'm gonna have to scroll up to see what you're making. Oh, clairvoyance, yeah.
Yes.
And it's the last one you
but
wanted to do today.
yes.
Okay, brilliant. So, 2 brews hiss up. Eye of a human. And Aquilary. Okay.
Yeah, but instead of using Eclairy, I might use Blood Spice.
Okay. Because that's as a primary, as a secondary.
As a second. No, I'll just keep it. I'll keep it as the Eclairy.
Okay. Alright, so the brews hiss up. They're in different ways, done in different ways. One, I think, maybe is a tea. You have to sort of like make it as a tea. And what do you do with the other one?
One second, I lost where I was. What do I do with the other brews?
Yeah. So, I mean, you could use... Let's have a look. Yeah, medicine. I mean, what I would suggest using is like survival medicine and, I don't know, something else that you're fairly good at. Whoa.
Yay!
And
That's a potion.
Now, I think that needs to be the combination of what you use in your potion making skills, those 3. Yeah, because that is pretty amazing. Alright, so you're going to be able to roll your herbalism kit at advantage here. So we'll take the higher of the 2 numbers. Okay, and I think 27.
Yay!
27. It's too much.
27.
it's too much.
Too much.
Ah, you get a free chicken chow mein.
27. Okay, yeah, so you get a potion of clairvoyance. Unfortunately, it's not a crit though, so you only get to roll once from the added effects table when you use it. I just want to see what it might have been. I'm clicking now. If you die within the next minute, you immediately come back to life as if by... Oh, wow, very nice.
Wait, since we're in the campaign with the Soul Monger...
Shh. We will gloss over that. It magically works that this works this way.
Okay.
So is that the what I get, or
No,
do you
I
do
was
the
just
added
trying.
effects at the
When
time?
you take
Yeah.
it, yeah, good try there.
No, I wasn't trying anything, I was just asking.
No, I was talking about Eldas. It's like, yeah, I'll have that. Alright, so how long? Let's have a look. 1d4. Have you got a chance to attempt something else if you want, or do you want to attempt something else, or do you want to do something else with the other 4 hours of the afternoon available to you?
Yeah, I think I will try and make a potion of healing.
Okay.
Eldas, your last roll, don't count that. Because you put a space between the 1 and the d4, so it just said 1.
Anyway, you've got another 4. It's fine. Yeah, no, yeah. You should put it together for it to calculate. But we'll try. So, again, I think that the survival medicine insight combo is quite a good one for this.
Yeah, okay. Two sec.
And then we'll just catch up with Anthir and Yoshie, Nada, and see what Anthir's been up to for the day as well. We seem to have neglected him.
Aww. Yeah, so we're doing the potion of healing. So we're going to use the porous as the secondary.
Okay.
Healing slime, obviously.
Yep.
And then what should I use as the base? A blood spice.
Blood spice, okay, cool. Yeah, you haven't got anything else that actually uses blood spice. Oh, other than the diminution. Okay. Alright, roll them dice.
Oh,
Nice,
Oh.
nice. And a crit. Go on. And
Ah.
a fail. Oh,
It's because I took too long to find it.
that was it.
I threw that one in the pot a bit late.
You're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's almost gone. Sorry, excuse me. Alright, so unfortunately it's just going to be a straight roll on your herbalism kit. Oh!
Oh,
Right,
fail.
so you lose everything that you've put in, and you get just this gunk back. That waiting too long to put the last ingredient in just screwed everything up, and it looks like, I don't know, the sludge you'd find at the bottom of a rain barrel. It doesn't look appetising in the slightest. That's unfortunate.
That's what happens when you spend about 7 hours trying to make too many potions.
Yeah, you
You're
get
just
burnt
too
out
tired
potion
at the
mates,
end
and
of
you're
it.
like, my fingers are blistered, and oh no. Okay, so let's just catch up with Anthir first, actually. So from the morning through to the afternoon, what's Anthir been up to?
I think he's just been praying.
Just praying,
Yeah.
yeah?
Trying to ask his god about anything like the soulmonger that we've heard of.
Okay, so you're trying to commune with Tempos.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Right,
Crikey.
make a religion check. You spend a
My
you
religion's
spend
terrible, by
the
way.
morning trying to meditate and achieve this mental state where you feel attached to everything around you, but it's so elusive. Being in the I mean, where are you meditating? In the garden outside the apartments you've been given? Okay, so it might be the faint shouting in the street outside the mansion or something that just stops you from achieving that moment, and the morning goes by and you haven't been able to sort of commune during the morning. Do you want to try again in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay, try do a religion check again.
I only have +0 to my religion, despite me being a cleric, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just getting so frustrating, and you don't even achieve that moments of bliss that you had in the morning. The afternoon is just really frustrating, and I think when everyone congregates back at the house, you're just feeling really sort of aggravated and frustrated at the end of this. The end of the afternoon. What are Yoshie and Nada doing?
So everyone's congregated back at the house now, right? So everyone's back.
I think by the time that everyone's come back, Kanada's been like cleaning his armor, probably polishing
Okay.
the metal plate, just whacking the weather. It's he's just making sure his armor's maintained well, and then I think he also examines his new sword a little bit, just and if anything different to the design that he's really jumps out at him.
Not so much the design. I mean, the design is very. You tell me what makes this so much a drow sword. What is it that is particular about this sword that sort of like screams drow at you?
I can imagine it's very elongated, very maybe a thinner blade and more intricacy. It's maybe smaller than the average scimitar, makes it more concealable, more easy to hide, very suited into that stealthy sort of drow stereotype that we all think about.
So it seems like more of a dainty sword than the damage it does. Really, there's something about it. It's forging, whereby it's got the weight behind it, the weight that it should have.
It's not just a denser metal, like
But
it's
there's not enough metal
some
there to
sort
make up
of
the weight.
alloy.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you wouldn't know about that.
Yeah, who knows? But again, it might be something that was lost in the ages past. The forging of this type of metal, you don't know.
It's very curious. But no, his armor's all nice and shiny and waxed and maintained.
So that takes us up to everyone sort of congregating, unless Yoshie wanted to do anything up until that point. Yeah.
Yes. Just to confirm, Yoshie has his dressing gown now, right?
Oh yes, Yoshie's got his personalised dressing gown. Yeah, I mean, it's fluffy and white. It's pristine white.
Lovely.
This one, yeah, nice and clean.
I think I'm just going to go back to where everybody else is congregated, and I'm just going to say to Nipa, like, I was interested about enchanting something,
Oh?
and I just wanted to know if it would be possible for you to assist me.
I mean, I'd happily do some research with you.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I couldn't. I won't lie. I'm looking into the art of enchanting myself. It's a very different art, making magic more permanent.
Yeah.
There's another side to it. It's something I'm
Wakanga-
looking into.
Wakanga did indicate to you that there is a slot tomorrow morning, because remember he said that he would show you some enchanting at
Yes,
some
he
point,
did, yeah.
and the process. You do have, there's an opening to see him tomorrow morning for a little while. You need to use up your entire morning, but you would hopefully, if you pass your rolls, you'll be able to sort of enchant after that point. You'd know the process and everything.
Yeah.
And literally above level game, I've worked out, you might see in your notes, there's an enchanting card there for, you were talking about the crossbow, getting Nada's crossbow put on there.
Yeah.
I think it's the Firbolg cantrip on there. The amount of charges would be 1d4 plus 2, and I've got the recipe card there written up to you. Anyone who's watching, I'll actually bring that up now.
Yeah.
Okay, so because you remember how it works, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the cost you're looking at around about 600 gold pieces.
Not too bad.
To do that, which is not too bad. And we actually did an enchanting card for something that Yoshie needs, which we will look at a later stage as well. Okay. Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Anything else you wanted to sort of discuss there?
Yes, this is our game, but I was
What
wanting
is
to
this?
take a break.
Can I just...
quickly.
Yeah, we can have a break quickly. I just wanted to say, what is that? Oh, okay. It looks like you had a piece of paper in front of you, Eldas, and you were just taking a bite out of this white piece of paper. I was like, what is going on there?
It's a chicken wrap.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
And that will be a wrap.
Tasty paper.
Tasty paper. Yeah, so should we just make a quick sort of tea break? And then we can come back for the next session, see what's happening the next day, and
Agreed.
blah, 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 blah. All right,
Alright.
back in a second.
Cool.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.